All right, welcome, Savvy. Nice to see you. I'm so happy to be here with you again. It's the highlight of my, I don't know, couple times a month. So two
Yeah.
times a month we do this.
Yes.
And
Same with me. I mean, like we were talking about, it's turned into uh, our little gig that we do,
yeah,
and I
and
love it.
and it raises me up, is what I was trying to say. The highlight to keep me inspired to move forward with Lifewave business, as a partner,
Sure.
and to also understand that the vitality and the health and the wellness does not happen on an island. It happens in our community, and we're sharing the wealth of this knowledge. And so today we are exploring the X49 patch,
Yeah.
right? That's our
Yes.
topic today.
Yes.
Yeah.
And I'm the same with you. I mean, we were talking about it before we started recording as to what we would call ourselves. I mean, the actual term doctor, the original term for doctor, was a teacher. That was the original term. A doctor meant teacher. So in that sense, you know, the two of us would actually be doctors, right? And so we don't actually have the actual medical degree, which is why we always read a medical disclaimer before we get started with these things. Do you have your medical disclaimer that rolls at the bottom?
I do. And we can put that up.
Yeah, I mean, we're just going to let people know that, look, we're researchers and we have a lot of education in the world of wellness, but with the powers that be, the governmental authorities out there, we always have to be careful that we're not making claims. So everything that we talk about is that we assist the body's ability to heal itself. And but we're not making any health claims using the words cure and healed. And it's just technically at this time in our lives, it's not legal.
Right.
So they always have to still go to their medical professionals and so forth. But what we're giving are ideas.
Right. And that sparks just this whole other topic about holistic medicine and how it is being censored or halted and
Even eliminated.
I don't think that's okay.
It's not okay. I mean, even eliminated, like some of the superhero healers out there, like Dr. Nicholas Gonzalez out of New York, and this is years ago now. It's probably over 10 years ago. I'm not even going to be shy to say that I think maybe he was taken out because he had people with his modalities that had pancreatic, cancer, and they were still living 20 years later. They were still going. So if anybody wanted to ever say cured, well, 20 years is a long time to have been going still, right? And even though we can't say that word, that's pretty good result. Okay.
Yeah, absolutely. And that's why we are inspired to be here to share this knowledge, because we have faith in the human body to heal itself, and that nothing outside the terrain is going to fix the terrain. This is the terrain that is the aquarium. You want to give the aquarium analogy?
Yeah, I mean, you said it. I mean, let's just go with one fish in a bowl, just one fish. If we don't change his water as he swims around in there, because all things they take in and they eliminate the waste. If he continues to swim in his own waste, he won't make it.
Yeah.
He won't.
It's just like, come on, this vessel is our water, our pure water. We need to keep it clean. We need to keep it circulating, exactly that aquarium and the one fish in the water. And how is your water doing? Is it full of
Waste.
and it's black and it's gooey and it's gross? Or
Yeah.
is it life of sun and clarity and just crystal clear? That's how we want it.
It's funny because you and I, didn't we do a show on water? We did, right?
Yes, we did. And you were so excited about it that you wanted to do another show on water. So maybe we'll do that.
So again, on and on it goes with when you research like I do. I just heard Zach Bush, triple board certified MD, who has now switched over like into the ND world, naturopathic world. I just heard him as well talking about the quality of water again. And basically the water, if we have the right water, it holds light. And so again, even Zach Bush now is talking about we are mostly light beings, and the quality of the water gives you the quality of the light that you have.
Yeah. Wow.
So how bright do you burn?
Yeah.
So with the absence of the water and the absence of the light, then you get disease. Again, the fish in the bowl. All right, I'm going to share screen. Do I have that ability?
Excellent. Yes. Our goal is to keep this under an hour. Yes.
Did it share?
Did your screen share? Oh, I'm sorry, Savy. Let me make sure that you are
I gotta be co-host.
Yes, sorry. There you go. You are free to go.
All right, here we go.
Yeah.
All right, let's get into it. So here's our patch that we want to discuss today. So we have, out of all of our patches, in full disclosure, Tah and I are partners with Lifewave. I'm about 40 months old. I think she's actually older than me in the business. And we're partners in this, and for good reason, because we just got done talking about light. And these are light frequency patches. Now, again, because of governmental tyranny, really, we have to call them general wellness patches, right? Because we're talking in terms of we only support the body's ability to heal itself. But I will tell you that these little patches are profound, because we have the 39, which activates stem cells, universal variety. Then we have the 49, which is actually called the daughter peptide to GHK. So the 49 elevates AHK, which we'll get into, and the two support each other. It almost is a great synergy together, but the 49 by itself has specific types of stem cells that are really more in alignment with bone, muscle, and radiation protection, which for me, even more important than the bone and the muscle, the radiation protection, for me, comes to the top because we are swimming in it. I don't think it's talked about enough. I think it's one of the greatest threats to our health is radiation pollution. I mean, let's just name some of it: 3G, 4G, 5G, blue light screens, laptop, desktop, phones, Wi-Fi, Bluetooth, at the dentist office, MRIs, CAT scans. I mean, it's crazy. In fact, I'm going to put on my blue blockers.
That's good. I know. Every time you do that, I feel like, I should be wearing mine as well.
Well, only because so many people in my life that are older have gotten cataracts. We have a doctor in this valley, Dr. Holling said, they're lined up out the door for cataract surgery. It's about 90% of his business, cataract surgery. It's crazy. But let's not even talk about the macula, right? We don't want to get into that degeneration either. Okay, so we want to protect our eyes, right? And what's interesting about that is radiation pollution is so damaging to the brain, and the eyes are attached directly to the brain. So it's like what's good for the brain is good for the eyes. What's good for the eyes is good for the brain. So in protecting our eyes, the brain too, right? So anyway, the 49 elevates what's known as AHK, different than GHK. And it also is a copper peptide as well. So AHK is alanine, histidine, lysine, and copper. And like I said, specific to bones, muscles, and radiation pollution. So let me ask you this, Tah, in the world of females, since females are 2-to-1 over males with osteoporosis, why is this a big deal with osteoporosis? And why would women have it 2-to-1? Men get it too, but why women 2-to-1? Because when I was training women in the gym, older women, osteoporosis was a risk factor in how I trained them. So
right.
What do you think?
Why do women have more bone loss is the question?
Yes.
Yeah, it's hormonal. When the estrogen starts going down through menopause, then there's some depletion. That's what I know. But how do you describe it in a scientific way or factual way?
I agree. Hormones are under attack.
Yeah.
You're becoming feminized. Women have too much estrogen, which leads to the breast issues with, you know what, cancer. I don't like to say their words. But it's a fact that the estrogens have problems now with the breast, problems with weight gain, problems with bone loss.
Too much estrogen?
Too much.
Too much. Okay. I thought it was a loss of estrogen as menopause, or is it per human, pure per woman? I mean, is it different for every woman, or is it a general?
I think it is different for every woman, because now we have to get into what do they eat? Do they sleep good? What kind of stress are they under? So there's all the variables. And that's what's interesting coming from a detoxification guy. The protocols are the foundational protocols are the same for everybody because we're all humans.
Right.
But then you have to get into the intake form on all the differential variables from person to person. But the foundation is like the same for us all, kind of. You know what I'm saying? Because we're all humans. And there are differences in the male and female, mainly hormones.
Right. And so that was the original question. What causes the bone loss more so in women than men? And I felt that it was the menopausal change.
I think so.
Yeah.
And so I remember one woman I trained, her bone density was so bad that I had to really be careful with her. And I used to take her to the wall. This was one of my resistance exercises. You take her to the wall, her back is against the wall.
Yes.
And all she does is lift up her heels and slam them. Boom, boom, boom. And this little slight movement was to build bone density in the hip complex, because let me give you.
I love that. We just had yoga teacher training, and part of our curriculum was using the wall, but I never thought to do the tapping of the heels on the wall with that support. That's excellent. Really good.
It's a heel slam, kind of. You know what I mean? I mean, not slamming, but
yeah,
adding weight that way, but gentle, careful.
Excellent.
Because we can't twist. I mean, we have to be careful here. It's like even with the chiropractic adjustment, you can't slam these people. It's the clicker, click, 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 click that they can use, right? We have to be very careful with them because it's first do no harm. Well, the human body has like 206 bones, right?
Yeah.
But
love the image there of all of that, the skeleton.
So notice if we look at the human body like a building, and the top of the building is the head. And as we go down, we see the shoulders, weight-bearing, hips, weight-bearing, knees, weight-bearing, ankles, weight-bearing, the most weight-bearing ankles, feet, right? And so, but that hip complex, which is the center of the building. This is where the fractures happen in these women. And I remember the figure was 73%, really high, of all women and men that break a hip, like at 80, 85, 90, 73% never recover, fully recover. They'll die within a year. That's how important it is that we get our bone density. Now, my question is, why, let's forget hormones for a minute. What else causes these people to lose all their bone?
The calcium ratio, magnesium ratio, right? The acid in the body. The acid
in the body. So if their pH, which 7 is neutral.
I love this. This is very important. People do not understand the concept between the pH and the acid and the calcium and magnesium. So yeah, excellent.
That's right. Because our blood has to stay 7.3-ish pH, slightly alkaline, or you will be dead within like 3 minutes. You're dead. So the body takes drastic measures to keep it 7.3, which is if they're drinking Pepsi, lots of alcohol, lots of coffee. You know, some people drink a whole pot of coffee.
Right.
Or they'll drink soda all day, big gulps. What is a big gulp, Tah? Like 32 ounces or something? I mean, it's huge.
I know. You love that. I love this analogy. You bring the big gulp in, the soda.
Oh my gosh.
Oh my gosh.
And they start them on little kids with big gulps. And then the diet, you know, heavy meat. Anything that's gonna, as it burns off in the chemistry of the body, if it drops into the low pH, the body is under so much stress now that it pulls minerals, calcium out of the bones to buffer the acids. And what? Now you get brittle bones. Add to that, there's hardly any minerals in the soil. So what little bit you have, you're losing it, and there's none coming in, hardly. Then you get the hormones, and we get problems, okay? So the 49 builds bone density. All the studies now are leading that we build bone density with the 49 patch via stem cells, okay? Now, muscles. 650 muscles, 187 joints. What happens if we atrophy on our muscles? Now what happens to the skeleton? It becomes sloppy. We don't have any muscles. So now why do we lose the muscle as we age?
Protein, I don't know. You tell me. Why do we because they're not exercising. They're not utilizing their muscles, and they're not
move it.
Bit of little
move
exercise.
That's it. Use it or lose it.
Yeah.
Jack LaLanne, right? Jack LaLanne, 96 years he lived.
Yeah.
I think if we'd had the patches on him, he'd still be going.
Yes. Yes.
I think the patches are the secret sauce here.
Oh my gosh. I know they are. I know they are. I would not be doing what I'm doing all day. Grandson, son, yoga. Yeah, without these patches. They are my life-saving, energy boosting, youth, vitality, all because of the patches. Yeah.
Now, Tah, again.
Yeah, it's like you don't want to well, okay, let me just qualify that, because what they do is they help me be my best self. That's what they do for me, because they amplify who I am and who I want to be. Is that better?
Yes, absolutely.
Yeah.
Yeah. And, you know, it's interesting if somebody said to you, boy, you look glowing today. It's like the perfect term to use, because we do glow, or we should glow. Put it that way. And we should have color in our face too, by the way. You shouldn't be pasty white. You should have some color, which means you have circulation. And if you live in my world, people that are pasty white, that look almost like a corpse, I hate to say it, it's because they're full of mucus.
Oh, that's it. Yeah, I never associated that.
They're full of mucus and waste products that we talked about. Now, muscles, as we age, I think it's like 10% a decade, something like that. We can lose in muscle mass, especially if you're not working out. But regardless of how it looks, we need them functionally. But let's remember, going back to hydration again and structured water again, muscles are bags of water as well. So if we stay super hydrated and we work out, we should be able to maintain adequate muscle at any age. So even if you're 80, you never worked out in your life, but you started at 80, per the 49 studies, I can now put on muscle. In fact, let me give you the stats straight from David.
Yes, please do. I need this for, well, specifically for my husband. He's like, I'm aging and I'm not building muscle. I'm like, the X49, let's do it. You're going to build
49, let's do it. So per David Schmidt, in 2 months, by the way, this is a 2-month study. Sit-ups, 60% improvement. Push-ups, 80% improvement. Bicep curl strength, 100%.
Yeah, that's a good muscle to really have an experiment on.
It's a good one. And grip strength, which is intimately associated with health. Grip strength. Can you hold from a bar?
Yeah.
Can you do that? Can you hold the bicep? Can you hold the bicep curl? Do you have the grip strength? 75% improvement. Okay, now, what I really loved about the study on the 49 for athletic performance was what's known as burst training. So burst training, which is like high intensity for short amount of time, even 10 minutes, which is called Tabata training, if you've heard of it.
I've heard that, yes.
So if you're, say you're older and you don't have any time, or you don't like to exercise, you want to get it over with, you can do it in 10 minutes. And I saw Zach Bush, who we talked about earlier, who's now talking about structured water. Zach Bush trained a group of people, older people, in Tabata. And it was literally air squats. This is no weight. This is only body weight. Air squats, 10 of them, right? And you do this relatively at a decent speed, 10 of them. Then he did, let's see, what was it? Arm swings like this, 10 of them. Then full overhead swings, 10 of them.
Makes me want to exercise.
Then 10 thrust. This is kind of fast, right? And that was one set. Let's do it again. Let's do it again. Let's do it again for 10 minutes or 6 minutes. I don't care if it's even 4, but you don't rest. Boom, 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 boom. It's called Tabata. If we do that burst training, the 49 is especially good because of the alanine in it, amino acid. Alanine is very effective at burst training. Where carnosine, as we have talked about.
Yes, we have a whole show on carnosine. Absolutely.
For strength, right? Strength, stamina, endurance, and removal of lactic acid, which make the muscle sore. Alanine is similar to carnosine, and that a little bit of it is stored in the heart too. So the 49 is working with that amino, alanine, okay? All right, now let's get into this graph just to highlight one more time how important
you want to stand up straighter. This
bone density is.
Okay, here we go.
Look at this, Tah. Look at the normal bone here, structurally, all the way to severe osteoporosis, where you don't have the bone. It can fracture.
Yep.
And look at the hump by you get time that you get to the end. I see this posture every week in somebody. I see that posture right there.
Oh, I do as well. Absolutely.
Do you?
Oh, yes. It's just gets worse and worse.
So Todd, do you take special precautions in yoga with older people? Like maybe if you had a client with this posture, do you take like extra precaution? There's some poses you say, you're not ready for that.
Oh, yes. Pure meet them at their level. And this is who is in front of me. If I have this person in front of me, we open up the heart. We open up the front of the body because everything's been, so we just work here. Even when I come and assist in the Tah, it's all, but it stems through the center of the heart. Oh my gosh, this is come on, confidence. So, this is standing up straight and being yourself, being in your own identity and opening to the world and being clear, you know?
Yes, and it's interesting because when I was a trainer, and I'm educated through NASM and ISSA, but I had specific training for females and specific training for older people. Okay, and I actually did what's called Silver Sneakers program, where I trained very old people in a group, and some of them worked out in the chair. They didn't even stand up; they were in the chair.
You do all of this kind of stuff.
And I focus on the core, of course. The core. And you would call it proud chest, a proud chest with the open heart, as you mentioned.
Yeah.
And I'm sure if you had somebody like this last lady here, right here, you're going to get them into the heavy breathing, correct breathing work. And as a trainer, I think the only one I remember out of about 20 different trainers that always incorporated the yoga type stretches in the hour full body workout. There would always be stretching too, as well. And so we could correct these postures with consciousness of it, being aware of it, and for people to understand that they should be in alignment. And so corrective exercise is if your abs are weak, but your upper back is too tight, we have to balance those out to straighten them up via muscle imbalances, because the muscles control the skeleton.
Yeah.
And then the bone density, we can get to that through diet. We need to be adding minerals to the diet, collagen, of course, 39 boost collagen, and bones are made of that material as well. All right, now let's get to, is it this? I thought I had another, oh, here we go, right here. All right, so the 49 patch. Now this goes for all ages to me.
Can you zoom into that a little bit to make it bigger for our viewers so that we could possibly?
Yeah, I'm not able to do it.
Okay.
I'm not able to do it, but I'm just going to read it over kind of. But it's basically showing the dangers of radiation in all amounts. Because even when you go to the dentist and they say, oh, it's very minor. What if you go to the dentist for 50 years? And it's accumulating into the body, because I know the bones can hold radiation. And this is where I get into the use of iodine.
So you're talking the x-rays, going every year for an x-ray.
Yeah. Twice a year is what they would like you to do.
Right. Unless you're you have a good dentist who knows that every other year. Because I think I have my dentist just says every 2 years.
But what about women with mammograms? Like what age, Todd, do they start pushing mammograms on women?
Oh, gosh, in the mid-30s, I think.
Is it? I thought it was even earlier, but let's just say mid-30s. And how long would they go for mammograms? All the way to what? Forever? Or, I mean, how long do they do this?
I don't do them, so I don't know.
Right. But let's just say the average woman goes once a year for God knows.
Yes. If she has in her family and they scare you if they think that it's genetic,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
And so the genes can't change, which is not true. So you have it in your genes. Oh, I'm going to get it. I'm a ticking time bomb. I need to check every 6 months.
Yeah. Oh,
maybe.
you've got the genetic potential. You
Yeah.
got to come. Yeah.
And so the fear is coming in. And so then they check. And then what if never mind. We'll go on a tangent there. I'll stop.
Oh, yeah. Well, we'll definitely go over our hour if we do that.
Yeah.
But just remember this. The exposure is cumulative. So if we add in again, laptop, desktop, microwave, television, cell phone, 3G, 4G, 5G, Bluetooth, it's cumulative.
Yes.
Which is why I want to be able to see when I'm older. I wear these things.
Yes.
The eyes, high doses can trigger cataracts months later for high doses. Thyroid, hormone glands vulnerable to cancer. What about these people that have a thyroid issue and the doctor, the MD, wants him to take radioactive iodine to fry it out?
I didn't know that that's what that was.
They fry it out. Why would you do that? You know who did that? My sister. She was so radioactive, nobody could go into her room for days.
Oh my goodness. I didn't know this about that. Wow.
You know, when somebody has chemotherapy, like say they have chemotherapy at 12 noon,
Yep.
You can't use the same bathroom after them for hours. They're so toxic.
Wow.
Lungs, vulnerable to DNA damage. When radioactive material is breathed in, the stomach, vulnerable if it's swallowed, like radioactive iodine. Reproductive organs, you can become sterile. Skin, burning, itching, rashes, redness, bone marrow, low production of red and white blood cells. No. Leukemia, another one of their words. The 49 patch, all indications from all studies suggest it builds a Faraday cage, a copper screen Faraday cage around the body, protecting us from EMF pollution.
It's so interesting because so many people are wearing their little medallions, their little EMF protector. And I love the fact that just the patch can do that, and probably much more potent than my little medallion here. So, but who knows?
I have spent via Synergy Science Company when they had them. Let's see, one for her car, one for my car. You can take it to the hotel room, the airplane, the cruise ship, whatever. And another big one for the house. I have spent over $6,000, $7,000 on EMF protection devices for the house.
Right.
And I bought a new one for my new house for a smart meter. I have them on the phone. But like you said, I can't carry this stuff all over the place. If I can just put the patch on, I'm good. You put it on your grandbaby, I'm going to put it on my grandbabies.
Yeah.
I'm not worried about bone density and muscle mass yet on a little 5-year-old. Yeah. But what about radiation?
Absolutely. And the science is there to prove that, which is even more of a indication. And it's valuable to have that, because I have people ask, well, how do you know? Is there proof? Yes, there is.
There's proof. And look, even if you had the skeptics, if I'm going to hedge my bets, I'm wearing the patch. I'm hedging here's what we know for sure. 5G is that close to being a weapon.
Oh, yeah. I wanted to say, I love your contrast. It's very, very effective. But if we go down that darkness, it's scary, and we want to keep our tank clear and full of light. So yes, let's go to the good news. Right?
That's right. So if I'm going to hedge my bets for $3.33 a day, or if you join as a partner, I'll show you how you get them for free. You can get the patches for free by being a partner. Okay, and that's a little bait comment by me. But you reach out to her, reach out to me, and you become a partner. And I show you how you get the patches for free and cash flow. Why you here? Because look, we don't know the people that whoever's viewing this, we don't know the people that you know. You know them. And through you, I get to know them too. And we all are helping more and more people. It's a grassroots thing. But look, you're not going to hear it on Fox News. Forget it. The way you're going to hear it is on little podcasts like this, because the mainstream is controlled. There's a narrative there. Okay. It's not like you're going to hear the ultimate truth on Fox News or on CNN or any of those other ones. We're going to have to do it ourselves. And that's why we do these shows. Now, 5G disturbs the autonomic nervous system, screw up your sleep, lower your red blood cell count so that you have low oxygen. The clumping of the cells happen. It bubbles the water, including the plasma water in the cell. There's nothing about it good. What's good about it? Some kid can play a game faster in a basement. What is good about 5G? What? The towers are ugly. They're all over the place too. You know, it's a strong signal, but it only goes a short distance. So they have to have more towers.
Right. So the weapon.
Why would you put it right next to a school where their little children are going to school?
Right. So the bottom line is this is our secret weapon, our protection.
That's right.
The Faraday cage. So that's an aspect of the X49. But when I was personally on a personal level, when I do use X49, right now I'm only on a few patches and I'm exploring. So I was doing X49 regularly for like 3 months. And I was just like building so much muscle, and my workouts were incredible.
Incredible.
My workouts were so strong.
Yeah, I'm working out today.
Softening on my body a little bit lately and doing more nervous system regeneration with Eon and
yes.
Yeah.
Especially with the stress of the world. And so per David Schmidt, again, the 39 does its thing, the 49 does its thing. But when you put them together, it's like mother-daughter, because they call it the daughter peptide, the AHK to the GHK. Together, these studies that he did on strength, stamina, endurance, etc., are amplified again, even more. And that's why they sell the 39 and the 49 actually in a bundle.
As a match.
In a bundle. And there's going to be more coming as the years go by, more patches with more specific stem cell therapies. But for now, these two together are in a bundle are amazing. And so I wear the 49 and the 39 almost every day.
That's great.
And the Eon I wear every day, without fail.
Yeah, I know you do about 5 patches.
Yeah, I've dropped it back to 3. Like today, this is the carnosine patch today right here, because I'm going to the gym. And this is the, what do I have on here today? I think the 49 is here today. Eon behind the neck. Actually, I have 4 on today.
Yeah. So lately I've been really supporting my sleep. So I've been doing X39 and Eon at night. It does not bother my sleep. It just
really
helps. Yeah. So
you know who else does that? My daughter does that as well. She wears the 39 and the Eon to bed.
To bed. That's what I do. Yes.
Yeah. Interesting. Interesting on that. And so like Dr. Paul Schmelin, who's a naturopath in this valley who uses the patches, he wears the 39 also to bed. which is very few people do that, but he does it under the guise of that's when you rest and repair. And so he, from his take, the stem cells being active while he sleeps,
Yes.
to him, he gets more regeneration.
I feel that for my body. Yes.
I've never tried it. I've just gone with what David says, and I wear it during the day. But I just wonder now if I wore it at night, if it would mess my sleep up or not.
Have you muscle tested? Muscle testing is great.
I have not done that. I should do that. But what I wanted to mention, last thing on hormones, again, for osteoporosis, because I despise the fact that these people fall and crack hips or crack their back. I worry about my mom with that. I won't let her go up and down stairs anymore. It's the elevator for her. Okay. Because of that. She's had 2 back surgeries. That's why.
Right.
When we got into the reasons why with osteoporosis, we have to remember all the xenoestrogens out there. Pesticides convert to fake estrogen, and so do the plastics.
Right. Right. So
So
use
the reason
glass
for-
as much as possible.
Yeah, the microplastics are a big deal for hormones. Hence, our shine spray. And we'll have to do a show on that.
That is my go-to 3 times a day. And it's interesting. Again, this is where people say you're not, doesn't it make you sleepy in the day? No, I use it morning, middle of the day, and night.
Yeah, they should go out 3 times. I'm going to up my game now to that, at least twice a day.
Because it smells so good.
My mom loved the Dream Spray for sleep. My mom loves that thing. And keeping in mind, she's always had trouble sleeping.
Yeah.
Another thing that I want to add herbal-wise is a maca powder.
Oh,
So
yeah.
maca powder in the smoothie.
Yep.
For an adaptogen with hormones. So shine spray, maca powder, and then maybe you could go into the world of herbs for the pituitary gland. Just this morning, prior to you and I doing this, I ordered a pituitary herbal tincture, adrenal tincture as well. And then, of course, exercise and the stretching, like you're an expert in the world of stretching.
Oh, we are having a blast doing our yoga teacher training. I have a partner, RT Lane, and 200-hour yoga teacher training. We're doing it every year. And so we're almost finished. We have our trainees are graduating in 1 more month. They're working on their finals.
200 hours. Wow. That's epic.
So it's about 9 weekends.
That's crazy.
And we have
love that.
recorded everything. So they have access to the library. It's
So
huge.
here again, what you just mentioned there shows the heart of what we're doing here. So I remember on a podcast, I asked people, if you fill a glass to the top, can you fill it anymore? And they're like, no. And I said, yes, you can, because you pour it out and then you refill it. And that's
Right.
what we do with knowledge. The knowledge isn't to hoard it. It's to give it away.
Yeah.
And that's what we're doing right now.
That's what fills my cup. That's what fills my cup. It's giving that knowledge away. Teaching the teachers.
That's right.
Sharing the healing so that the healers can go out and heal. Yeah.
Well, I can tell you that the way that you train with yoga is so reminiscent of what I did when I trained as a trainer. Very literally hands-on, actually demonstrating what you want them to do. You demonstrate it and show them. And then you're hands-on while they now duplicate what you just trained in.
Yeah.
Hands-on.
That's the way the teaching is transferred. Yes, absolutely.
Right. Absolutely.
I think our connection is going south. So we might need to.
Yeah, we'll go ahead and close it. Is there anything else you wanted to add? Because is this number 14 for you and me? 15?
I think it's 15 now. I think it's 15.
Is it 15? Okay.
Yeah.
Well, I enjoyed doing it. We're going to keep going. It's pretty much filtered down to just you and me now, which is fine because you and I are dialed in on it. So hopefully folks get something out of it, because that's what we do is we do all the research, try to condense it and then put it out. And hopefully there's a nugget in there, and we're going to keep doing them. And again, the offer is there. If you want to partner, join this movement, then reach out and we'll personally train you. Okay.
Absolutely. And our last show was a Q&A. So we'll do more of those. So
yeah, we need to do more of those. In fact, if anybody watching these shows want to be involved in a Q&A, just reach out to Tah.
Yeah, I would love that. The more authentic interaction we have, the questions get answered that need to be answered. Yeah,
That's right.
Yeah,
So
that's good.
I loved it. It was great. That's 15 for you and me now.
Excellent. All right. Thank you, everybody.